welcome back to the racing line for round 2 of the Volkswagen Jetta Cup. We are here already. It's been a whole week since round 1, and here we are around this short and tight twisty circuit of Lime Rock Park. We had a bit of an issue today actually, a little bit of miscommunication with iRacing, where the layout was meant to be the Grand Prix layout of Lime Rock. We said there's a tight chicane out there where the racers have been practicing all week for this race, ready for the Simlab season, and it turns out that there was a mistype on the schedule, and it is in fact a different layout. So there's no tight chicane, but there is the West Bend circuit. You can see the track map there. I'm Jack Johns, I'm in the commentary booth, and I hope you guys are all strapped in and ready for this race. Sounds like I'm far away. Thank you, Jeremy, for the comment. Let's try this a little bit. Is that better? Just let me know if it's too loud, or maybe the engines are too loud. Let's try that. So, as I was saying, it's West Bend chicane layout, which is pretty new to all the drivers. People haven't really had too much of a chance to practice, but they have had 50 minutes. So 50 minutes of practice so far, and it is still currently going actually. We can have a quick look. There's only a couple minutes left of practice. We are currently looking at Donny Alpha Henriksen, the number 668 car, coming out the pits. There's loads of people out there. Hello Owen, thanks for your comment. We've got 24 drivers out on track today. A few people couldn't make it due to other commitments, but we have also got some other news out there for you. So just quickly on the track, I'll tell you what, let's jump on board with someone whilst I go through a few notes before qualifying. That's another audio comment. Let's try. What about now? I'm gonna need you guys to keep those comments coming in so that I can try and fix that.
Let's try. What about now, guys? Sounds like a different mic to last time. Okay. Oh, yes. There we go. I think we fixed it. Thank you. Perfect. Good. Funkmaster Greg. Loads of people. That's it. Yes. There we go. Celebrate. Give me a round of applause. I've done that on the fly for the first time. We knew something would go wrong in this season. We've got it out the way in round 2. So, 50 minutes are nearly up. Here we are still with Donny Alpha Henriksen chasing down Dan Thornton around the track. Look at the times, people. You can see the timing board on the left hand side of your screen. It's extremely, it's such a tight circuit, right? It's so small. There's not many corners. As you can see, these guys battling it out into the West Bend chicane. So this is the addition that they are not used to doing. There's a little bit of contact there, but that was fair game. But the times, the top 15 all in the 1 minute 2s. There's about 6 tenths between them. Dan Thornton nearly there with the 103.1, and like I said, they're not quite used to this track yet. Cranny Cart, hello, good to see you all in the chat. Jism91, yes, Queen. Jerry Agard having a nice. Oh, Donny must know he's on stream because he's just absolutely binned it. And practice is over. 50 minutes is up. Jerry Agard currently looking like he's in a well comfy position, sat by a log fire, missing today's round. But I'm sure he will be back for round 3. And Jack Lewin in the chat as well. Good to see you, Jack. Thank you for coming and supporting. So that actually brings me on whilst qualifying starts. So the 8-minute qualifying is about to begin. All of them on track at the same time as you see them all come flying out the pits there on that little shot. Let's see if we can get some far. There we go. So we've got loads of people out there. You should see the times coming up at the bottom as they fly around the track. This is Kieran Dempsey's car. Unmistakable livery, the chrome Irish flag on the side of his car. Esben Jan in the chat, hello from France. A lot of people watching around the world. This is humbling to say the least. Thank you all for being here. Right, I will get this out. I will get to my points. So talking points of this season so far, we are 1 round in. Jack Lewin, who's in the track, like I said, good to see you. Unfortunately, has retired from the season for now. He may be back as an independent driver, but the reason this is a talking point is that he was a driver for one of the teams out there. Oh my God, my mind's gone blank. He was with Jerry Agard and Thomas Berlin, the Masters of Talk team. Of course, how could I forget? They are P3 in the Constructors' Championship after one round. So no slouch of a team at all. In fact, let's go and have a look out there. Pretty much everyone is on track. One of the other Masters of Talk cars, Thomas Berlin's not out on track currently, and Jerry Agard ain't here, but there is a driver out there who needed to take that spot. Now, for those of you that tuned into round one, you will know that there was a bit of a surprise result actually, and not knocking this person who done extremely well in round one, but let's face it, there was a few rumours, a few whispers in the paddock that the favourite for this championship has been, for a while actually, Stephen King. We hear the name mentioned. It's not the writer, Stephen King, the driver in the Volkswagen Jetta Cup, but he has got a lot of pressure on his shoulders. A lot of people, as we cut to him and the other Pulsar's car of Joshua Germany behind, a lot of people giving him the pressure and willing him to do well. He was championship favourite going into this. However, after round one, we have a bit of an underdog scenario as Ray Oliver goes at 1 minute 2.8 to top the times. Our Australian driver, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning out there for him. Jake Cranston. So he came out of nowhere. It was a late sign up. He joins the league and he wins the feature race and finishes second in the sprint race. So a cracking result for him. And lo and behold, the Masters of Talk team, they had a space in their team. And who do they get? They were third in the Constructors. Of course, they're going to want another quick guy to replace the already quick Jack Lewin. And Jake Cranston is that man. He's out there somewhere. There he is, going up the hill behind the number 43 car. That is Jan Weiswanger. So he goes up the inside. This is where this track's going to have a bit of a downfall. There's so much traffic, so little corners to get things done. So yeah, talking point number one, Jake Cranston moves to the Masters of Talk team and fully going to be trying to lift them up the Constructors. Win it or bin it, currently in P2 in the Constructors. That's John Bailiff, Martin Wallace and Andy Fox, who are also out there. 102.7, another good lap for Ray Oliver, who puts it back on pole. Jake Cranston, we were watching him, he's just gone second fastest, as there's a bit of smoke there around turn one. Another talking point, we mentioned the mess up with iRacing and the layout of the circuit. That's no problem. Penalties and championship order. So after round one, we did have to do a bit of stewarding after the race, and I'm sure it'll be the same after this round as well. There was some penalties applied. We gave out a few warnings. Jan, actually, who we just saw, Jan Weiswanger, got a warning for a dangerous rejoin. We had the number 66 car of Ryan Smith. He got a warning for causing a collision at the end of the feature race. This is one of the ORD boys. There he is in the chrome liveried car, chasing down his teammate. So these guys draft in to try and get those lap times. That will probably be Chris Smith in front of him. Yeah, got a warning for causing a collision on the last lap. Big 5-car pileup. Morgan Burkhardt, the number 2 car, he also got a warning for a collision. I believe he is out there somewhere. There he is in the All Sports racing car. Yeah, warning for a collision as well. Just outbroke himself into turn one and could have avoided that easily. But the real penalties come with Oliver Teglus, the number 23 car. He got a 5-second time penalty and 5 points on his license for overtaking Joshua Germany on the apron, crossing the white line fully and cutting the corner where there's some cones telling you not to cut. So he was one of the drivers that got penalised for that. And Jared Kaler, sorry, there's Oliver Teglus in the frog, the frog machine. Nice livery there. He's changed it every round so far, I think. Jared Kaler, he's in the pits actually, I think, at the moment. It's not coming up on here. But yeah, Jared Kaler getting a 10-second penalty, 10 points on his licence after 2 crashes on lap 1 of the feature race. So it was a big feature race. It did have some footage. I'm not going to be able to show it. For some reason it wasn't working. So I will definitely show you that next time, and of course any accidents that happen in this race pre the race happening. So Yeah, Jared Kaler caused 2 incidents. He went up the inside of Jeremy Agard, who's in the chat at the moment, relaxing in front of the fire. He into turn 1 and caused a bit of an accident there. Not too much of an issue, but then Jack Lewin, unfortunately, lost out the most on the next corner, getting just run wide onto the grass, and off he went. Liz Creates, thank you for your comment. Is it me, or is the volume very quiet? I'm hoping we're still not having volume issues. Maybe that might have been my fault, actually, just looking away from the microphone, as Stephen King is fastest currently with a 102.6 with 2 minutes left of qualifying. This will be a good time, actually, to bring up the current championship order. I'm sure everyone is wanting to see that. So let's bring this up. There we go. So it's currently round 2, Lime Rock Park, the West Bend chicane, and Jake Cranston, leader of the championship after 1 round. So 70 points for him after a win and as a 2nd place. Stephen King, the championship favourite, in 2nd place for Pulsar Esports, 55 points. John Bailiff in 3rd, equal with points with Joshua Germany, but John taking a P2 in the feature race and Josh a P3 in the sprint. Means that John gets the 3rd place at the moment. Win It or Bin It doing extremely well. Andy Fox in 5th. Ray Oliver 6th. Oliver Teglus in 7th in the championship still, even after the points deduction. Kieran Dempsey in 8th. Donny Alpha Henriksen in 9th. And Ryan Smith in 10th, our youngest driver on the grid. Martin Wallace currently 11th with 29 points. Jeremy Agard in 12th. Henry Morse in 13th after a bit of a nightmare in the feature, finishing way down the order after an accident near the start. Jared Kaler 14th after the 10-second penalty. Charles Rainford 15th. Morgan Burkhardt 16th. Orlando Herrell 17th. And Jack Lewin in 18th, still in the championship. Just because he's not here does not mean we're going to take him off that leaderboard. If he wants to come back, he is more than welcome to. Let's have a look at the next page. Let's flick that across. Where were we? Jack Lewin, so Dan Thornton in 19th. Tyne Van Wittenbauer 20th. Jan Weiswanger 21st. Sebastian Holmichael 22nd. Ika Lequay, look at this. Lurchus Gaming 23rd, 24th and 25th. They had a nightmare first round. Definitely not showing their true pace there, as Stephen King takes pole position and qualifying has finished. Let's just round off this order. I don't want to miss them out. Only 3 non-point scorers. Thomas Burling, Samuel Tully, Peter Jones down there after dancing his way through turn 1. I think there's actually a couple more names just hidden away. So there was a few more non-point scorers, but they are not showing up. There they are. So Chris Smith as well had a nightmare. He's a quick driver. And there's Ben Kim Jan, who currently hasn't been here, but he will be back for round 3. Let's get rid of this. We don't want to see this anymore. We want to see the qualifying results. So what just happened? Show me the money, people. Show me the money. Go, go, go. Team Masters of Talk, says Jerry Agard. All good now. Thanks. Good luck all, says Liz Creates. Qualifying results. Not showing up for some reason. That's unfortunate. A little bit annoying. Let's try this one. Nothing. Nothing. Bit of an issue there, but we did see it. We can still kind of see the order there. So Stephen King took pole, Charles Rainford in 2nd in the end, and Ray Oliver in 3rd. So where is Jake Cranston? He's down in P6 with an extremely tight field. Very interesting, actually. Very, very interesting. Ah, there we go. Look. So Stephen King, I'm not going to have time to rattle through these, but Stephen King, Charles Rainford, 7 thousandths behind. Look how close that is. Ray Oliver, 3rd, and Joshua Germany in 4th. We're going to have to cut to the race. They've started revving their engines. Let's green, 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 and it's go, 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 as Murray Walker would say in memory of him. R.I.P. Murray Walker. Look at this. There's a Pulsar Esports car already round. That's Henry Morse at the back. He's crashed. There's another car. That's an all-sports racing car up the front of the field. He's gone off. And there's Ika Lequay going through. Kieran Dempsey's had an off as well. He's tumbling down the order, but in the lead, Stephen King getting a nice clean getaway. So he is currently running away with it. Charles Rainford, we were speaking about him before the race. We knew he was going to be up there somewhere. Amundare today, someone says in the comments, that's Aaron PM 94. Look at this, single file all the way through. They're going to have to be extremely patient through this race. We're going to have a look at a replay of some of those at the start, but look at this. Charles Rainford all over the back of Stephen King as they're coming down to the West Bend chicane now. Charles looking up the inside, backs out of it, coming around the right-hander. It's an interesting corner as they have to go wide slightly as Ray Oliver has a bit of contact. He's going to tumble down the order. Look at this. There's an awful slowdown section there. If they cut that corner on that West Bend chicane, they will get a slowdown penalty. And look at the number 19 of Jesus Amundare passing Ray Oliver for P7. They're side by side down the main straight, heading towards T1. Ryan Smith is in the pits for some reason. I hope he's okay. I don't know if he's had an accident. Maybe he spun round into there. We'll have to have a look at that at some point. And look at that. That's Jake Cranston making moves on John Bailiff. There's people passing all over the place. We kind of knew this was going to happen. It's a 15-minute sprint race, and there are cars all over the place. Relatively clean so far as Jesus gets tagged round, and he's tumbling down the order. There he is. He can get back on nice and safely there. That is not a problem. It's half points for the the sprint, sorry. So it's not too much of an issue losing out. And remember, it's a reverse grid for the feature race that's coming up. So anyone that finishes in 12th is going to get reversed. So Morgan Burkhardt currently in pole position. Charles Rainford sends it up the inside to take the lead. He's made the move stick. Stephen King driving very smart there, and he's let him have it. But now Joshua Germany is all over the back. The two Pulsus boys. Oh my God. Look at this. He's going to be slipstreaming him down the straight. And look, Charles really trying to break that slipstream. I wonder if these two are going to work together. It's a shame Henry's not up there. There would have been 3 of them at the top end of the field. Henry's no slouch behind the wheel. Jake Cranston sets the fastest lap of the race with a 102.7. He's absolutely flying in 5th place, so he's looking to catch Christopher Smith, one of the non-scorers from last round, up in P4. That's amazing. Valdez says that's a protest. We will watch all incidents back at the end of the race. Don't worry about that, as Dan Thornton's gone off. There he is, coming back on the track nice and safely. All good. Thomas Berlin there. Gaining places as well, up into P18, chasing Kieran Dempsey after his earlier spin. But wow, what a move from Charles Rainford. And now look at him, he's pulling away the number 99 car, the purple livery with a little bit of toxic waste on the side. But I want to see Jake Cranston. He's going to be really chasing down Chris, as we're 3 minutes into this race already. We've had a few issues in the past with fuel, so keep an eye out for anyone potentially running out of fuel in the race. Mainly because, so there is a fuel limit on these cars. If anyone tries adjusting that fuel limit, it will actually underfuel the car. So everybody needs to make sure that they've loaded the right setup, otherwise they won't make it to the end of this sprint. There is pit stops in the feature. God, Jake Cranston, 102.5, he is flying. Purple sectors all over the place. Let's have a look whilst they're settled down a little bit in single file. I wonder if we can see any of the crashes. So Henry Morse at the start. Here he is. Oh no, he's been tagged round by the Masters of Torque car. That was unfortunate. That would be Thomas Berlin, I think, was the Masters of Torque car down there. Morgan Burkhardt went off the track. Again, this will be at the start. Is it going to be a tag of the rear? Yeah, so the 66 ORD car just gets stuck on him, and that's to be fair, that's all right. Morgan's safe. He's still in the race. He came back on the track nice and safely. But Kieran Dempsey had a bit of a nightmare. This is also on rounds to lap 1. So Ray Oliver up the inside, bounces around the curve. Oh, he had nowhere to go. Ray Oliver losing the rear end there. And just, Kieran, wrong place, wrong time. There was no incident there whatsoever. That was just Ray losing it on that curve. Now Ryan, I wonder, he must have had, so he was the 66 car, he got tagged at the start. He's got a meatball flag. That's the only reason he'll pit in a sprint race. Definitely got damage from that earlier crash there, so that is unfortunate for him. We saw the incident with Jesus. This will be the last replay for now before we get back to the live action. Ray Oliver sends it up the inside of turn 2. Oh, we'll have to have a closer look at that after this whole event. So someone said that's a protest, but it's hard to say from that camera angle, to be honest, just because of the sheer closeness of this circuit. Let's go back live and see what's happening as Jacco has had a bit of a spin. That is Van den Wittenbauer off the track. Joins nicely, actually, for a 90-degree rejoin. We've seen them get extremely dangerous as Weiswanger goes up into 23rd now and passes him. So Jacco won't be happy about that. Ray Oliver still currently in P7. Chasing down John Bailiff in the Win It or Bin It car for P6. Jake Cranston still the fastest man on track. What's a protest, says Jism91. So a protest will be, that's what happens when people are not happy with someone's conduct on track, as it looks like Kieran and Jesus are having a right battle down here for 17th and 18th place. This is points finishing positions. There's points for the top 20. Who's going to come out on top? Jesus currently still ahead of currently still ahead of Kieran Dempsey. Mixing my words here, I can see 2 Lurchus Gaming cars, that's what it is. They're coming towards the West Bend chicane. Kieran's going to pick his point wisely. There's a Masters of Torque car just up the road. That's Thomas Berlin, up 7 positions from where he started. But I'll tell you who has been quiet and not causing any issues this time. Jared Kaler in the number 58 car, up 10 positions into P15. I haven't seen him make contact with anyone. Grande Jesus. He's got a lot of fans, Jesus has, as the all-sports car of Morgan Burkhardt is looking to pass Andy Fox for P13. This little battle is a little bit tight. I'll tell you what we need to get rid of is the fastest lap times on that left-hand side. We want to see the interval between these drivers. Now we can see how close people are battling. And it looks like Chris Smith only 2 tenths behind Joshua Germany. Let's go have a look at that in a second. But first of all, Morgan Burkhardt is looking extremely close to Andy Fox. They're coming around the fast right. It's almost impossible to pass through there, as Jake Cranston has just got past Chris Smith. I wonder if he's had an issue there. That's going to be a slowdown, because Chris has dropped right off. He was right on the back of Joshua Germany. That'll be a shame for Chris if that was the case. Let's have a look. So here they come. Chris has a look up the inside of Josh, thinks better of it. Jake Cranston, though, then decides, no, thank you very much. I'll have a bit of that. Just slots it right up there. It wasn't a slowdown. It was a hell of a move for Jake Cranston. Up into P4. Impressive stuff from the current championship leader. Now, look, he's right on the tail of Joshua Germany. We've got some hashtag I support Jesus, pray for Jesus in the chat. Yeah, doing much better today, Jesus Amundere in P16, but this battle is the one we need to watch. Jake Cranston looking to get another podium and steal it away from Joshua Germany, who got a podium in the last sprint race around Charlotte. Nice one, Jake. You've got some support there. That is your car he's driving, Jack. You need to get back in here. But yes, very good move. He's done that. Cool, calm, collected. No issues, no contact. And like I said, it's a tight circuit. This is currently one of the closest battles on the field for the highest position. There's a couple of battles over there, 3 tenths. Look at the run he's got out the final corner. He's already up the inside of Joshua Germany as they head towards turn 1. That move, I hate to say it so early on, that move is done. Josh lets him have the inside. He's going to think better of it. He can't hold it around the outside there, surely. No, tucks in behind, and that move's done. That's Jake Cranston on fire for the Masters of Torque team, up into P3. But who's that up the road? Right on the back of Charles Rainford. Has Charles used too much of his tyres? Stephen King on the fight back for the win of this race. So we are currently 9 minutes in already. There's only 6 minutes left. And Stephen only 2 tenths behind Charles. Absolutely loving the slipstream. Look at him. Nice and close. No contact there. A bit of tyre smoke as they lock up. But Jake Cranston is going to be looking at this and licking his lips. He wants to get as high up as he can. Of course, he started P6. He's up 3 positions. And now he's on the podium spot. But these two, anything can happen. They're going to be feisty. They're going to be fighting as they come down the main straight. And Charles defends the inside for turn 1. Can Stephen outbrake him and have an attempt round the outside? He's going to try it. Look at this. This is going to be a hell of a move if he can make it stick, but it tightens on the second part of the corner, and Charles just slots millimeters in front of Stephen King there. Unreal into turn 2, and that's a done deal and done for another lap. That's nice and chilled now. There's another close battle back there. Henry Morse up into the points position as there's a bit of contact there. Stephen just nudging him. I don't want to take my eyes off of this lead battle. There are other fights out there as Henry Morse passes Dan Thornton for 18th place. So Henry back in the points. Kieran Dempsey in 17th. Yeezus still in 16th. About 6 seconds back from Andy Fox, who's chasing down Sebastian Hallmichael for 14th. Jared Kaler up into 13th. Morgan Burkhardt having a much better race of it this time in 12th place. Martin Wallace currently in 11th. And Ika, look at that, P10 for Ika Lequay in the Lurchus Gaming car. What a race he's having. Oliver Tegloose, haven't seen him much in the Frog car, but he's having a quiet one in P7. Ray Oliver down in P6. Martin Wallace, Zero Forks Given Racing. Yeah, currently P11. Only 1.5 seconds back, 5 minutes to go. So he could try and sneak into that top 10 with Ika Lequay, but these two really going at it. 2 tenths now the gap. I wonder if Stevens used his tyres up, attempting that pass that we saw there. Let's have a look at Henry quickly. He's looking like he's going to pass Kieran Dempsey for P17. It looks like a done deal. He's on the inside. They broke at exactly the same time. Kieran, though, Look at that, holding it around the outside. But this is where it changes, swaps the battle over as the number 74 car of Dan Thornton wants to get involved. He's going to try and go up the inside. Ooh, we saw an accident there earlier. That would have been the same incident as Ray Oliver and Jesus if they did make contact, but they didn't. And they're still in the race, and they're still racing for P17. But Kieran under a lot of pressure here, all for effectively the bottom 4 places of the points finishers. So currently the last point scorer is Christian Ribeiro in 20th place. Orlando Herrell, though, all over the back of him back there. There they are. So this is for the final points position. Look at this, Orlando Herrell. He's going to, the best exit you can get out of that chicane, obviously, it's going to set you right up for this straight. This is where you want to get the nice exit. Out of this final corner, slipstream down into turn 1. Is he going to get this done? How much of the slipstream is going to help him? Orlando to the inside. I said it was a done deal last time, but it wasn't. But this one does look like a done deal. He turns it in. He's got the move done. The 97 of Christian Ribeiro tries to hold it around the outside. Not quite. And Thomas Berlin now fancies a look. Oh, he's going to come back into turn 2. No, doesn't quite make it stick. Can't. It's not really a braking zone turn 2. That's the issue. It's a very slight brake. And then it's not really an overtaking zone. If you can get it done, then fair enough, fair play, as there's some more side-by-side action there. That's Ryan Smith after his meatball flag, racing Thomas Berlin for 20 seconds. So can Ryan get back into the points after his early incident? Let's have a quick look at the lead battle. Still nose to tail. Jake Cranston currently now 2 seconds behind. So he's gained half a second, but he's not really closing. So these two must be flying up the front. Their last laps identical, both 1 minute 3s, 06, so they're still flying. Jake Cranston, who's got a bit of clear air, 1 minute 2.9, so only 600ths quicker than these two, who are battling all the way. Really interesting stats there. Let's have a look at the other battles out there. So Stephen King, Charles Rainford for the lead. Jake Cranston closing him down slowly but surely. Joshua Germany in 4th. Ray Oliver, 5th place with another 2 seconds back. Oliver Teglus right behind Ray Oliver. And Chris Smith as well, who's still in the top 10. Here they are, so a little group of 3 here. The little train, so the ORD car rearing off this field. Donny Alpha Henriksen, P8. Just 3 seconds behind this battle. John Bailiff right behind him. Ika LeQuain, 10th. Still, Martin Wallace trying to close him down. Look at this. Ray Oliver on the defensive into turn 1 very early. Oliver Teglus looks like he's got to run out that final corner. He needs to brake extremely late around turn 1. Here they go. Can he get it done? We're looking at Chris Smith there. It sounds like there's contact. Oliver Teglus straight into the back of Ray Oliver. Ooh, look at this, getting argy-bargy, door rubbing. This is feisty stuff from the Australian very early in the morning out there. Oliver Teglus wanting to get past. Now we know Oliver's a feisty driver. We've raced him before. He does try and keep it clean. Glad to see it's on the correct layout. Thank you. We sorted that out after a few chats with iRacing today. Yes, Ray Oliver fully defending this position. Extremely interesting stuff. We hope it doesn't escalate from here though, boys. Come on. He's going to look down the inside of this chicane. Oliver not quite making the move stick this time round. Let's have a look at this. Coming around the final corner, this looks like it's closer than it's ever been. They're only a 10th difference. Back to back. Oh, Oliver trying to get the switch back into the final corner to have the inside line for turn 1. I think he's done it, you know. He's on the inside as they come down the main straight. Ray looking like he's got a couple of miles an hour. No, not quite. This is a bad position for Ray as Chris Smith's going to look to come through as well. Ray Oliver round the outside of Oliver Teglus. Oliver making that position stick. Can he keep it? This is where they had the incident early on the race. Ray's still there. He's got the inside for turn 2. Oh my God. Is it going to carry on into the kink? Yes. Oliver Teglus. Car's still there. That's fair game. A little bit of a tag, but it's hard to give room around there. And Chris Smith comes through as well as Ray Oliver loses 2 places down to 7th place. Oliver Teglus. What a move. What a battle. Side by side for 3 whole corners around Lime Rock Park. The West Bend layout. Chris Smith, looking very feisty here. He's right on the back of Oliver. But this will be a tell now. How much quicker are these two than Ray at this stage of the race? As it is the white flag already. Are they coming down the main straight? Is this the final lap? Did I get carried away? It is. Charles Rainford, your sprint race winner. 2 tenths ahead of Stephen King. Jake Cranston in 3rd. Joshua Germany 4th. Oliver Teglus. Oh, look at that across the line. 13 thousandths of a second. Chris Smith, 6th place as they cross the line. And Ray Oliver still less than a tenth. 3 cars, woo, across the line at the same time. That was interesting. Oh, I need to calm down. I feel like I need to have a little bit of a drink. That was madness. Let's get the music on a little bit. Not that loud. We don't want the music on that loud whilst we have a little cool down. Zero Forks giving races. Good race, boys. 3 wide across the line. Less than a tenth of a second between 5th and 7th place. Wow. That is unbelievable stuff. Really impressive. And do you know what? For Lime Rock, I'm going to say it. I don't want to jinx it because the sprint race, I will say the sprint race is normally cleaner for some reason, for whatever reason, than the feature. And it makes no sense because the sprint race is 15 minutes, it's half points. The feature is 25 minutes, it's double points. And yet, there seems to be more crashes at the moment. So hopefully, the boys have realised this, calmed it down a bit, and have another race just like that. Because that was absolutely ridiculous. Cracking racing and not many crashes. Surprisingly clean. I'm over the moon with that. I'm not sure what the fans are thinking. Vinny McFinger, 3 wide. Esben Jan, nice race. You're going to be here next week, Esben. I'm sure you'll be enjoying it. Liz Creates, that was so tense. Oh, I'm genuinely, I don't normally lose, like, I'm lost for words, but this time right now, I am. I wonder, oh, look at this. We have got time, plenty of time. So it's a little break now if people need the toilet or need to grab a drink. But whilst you do that, it is time for an interview. And we have someone in the waiting room. Hang on a second. Having some issues out there today. Right, let's drag him in. It's Charles Rainford, our race winner. He's currently got his mic muted. Hopefully he sees that in time. Yes, he does. He's still there. Charles, your sprint race winner. 0.2 of a second. How did that feel for you?
I mean, it was slightly nerve-wracking towards the end because my tyres, I realised why I got past Stephen fairly easily and built a bit of a gap because he was saving tyres. And I found that as massive pressure towards the last 5 laps, definitely.
Yeah, so we actually spotted that. So it looked like you were feisty at the start. You were all over him. You got the move done. It was a cracking move. And then, yeah, towards the end of the race, he sort of just came back at you. And it looked like his one attempt to do it just used his tyres slightly too much. I mean, he didn't let you go. But at the same time, it didn't look like he made any more moves after that main one attempt.
Totally. I mean, yeah. I mean, when he went to the outside there and I saw him start understeer wide, I thought, well, actually, we might be in a similar position here. But I mean, full credit to Steve. Fantastic racing, and obviously, I'm quite proud of myself to keep a driver of his caliber at bay. So after I mean, this is the first time I've driven the car and track together as tonight. So yeah, very excited.
Much better than last week so far. So that's 1 win under your belt for the season. But 12th place for the feature race coming up. What do you think you can do from there?
Exactly. Obviously, after last week, I'm really pleased to get the first win under the belt. It means a lot to myself because I feel like last week might have been a missed opportunity. But yeah, I mean, starting 12th on the grid, all the action is going on in front of me, and I'm massively looking forward to it. It's going to be really good.
Good. We might speak to you later then, Charles. Let's see how high you get up. I'm going to see if I can grab someone else in. But yeah, well done. Congrats on the win, and we'll speak to you soon.
Dude, thank you. Hope to speak to you later.
We do have someone else in the waiting room, waiting to talk to us. I'm just having a look for... That's what I wanted. So, who else do we have in the waiting room? Can you show us the results? Yes, I can. But in fact, whilst I do that, let's grab a quick chat with Christopher Smith, who had a cracking race, especially compared to last week. So last week, round 1, no points for Chris for various issues. Nil points. But this time, cracking finish.
Cheers, that was a fun race. I ended up getting into a bit of a tangle there with Ray Oliver and Oliver Teglus, I think it was. But yeah, those guys like to rub yours a little bit more than I do.
We
I mean,
saw that.
coming from trying to get as much safety rating as possible out of races, you know, you try and avoid contact, but these guys are like touring car drivers.
Indeed, yeah, very much so. So we were actually on board with the battle, so it was the closest battle on track, bar the two leaders who were 2 tenths apart, but you had 3 of you all battling for that. Sorry, I've forgotten where it was. It was 5th, 6th and 7th with Ray Oliver and Oliver Teglus. And yeah, it looked like you was just watching them go for it. We know Oliver can be a bit feisty, Mr. Teglus, but Ray Oliver as well, defending for all of his life. And it just looked like you waited for that prime opportunity just to follow one of them through.
Yeah, I knew something was going to happen. I mean, I even had a tangle with Oliver Teglus during practice, so I thought, you know, these guys are live wires. I didn't want to fight with them really because I knew that it would come out badly. So I just figured, let's just see what happens. And what was the gap at the line? Do you know? I mean, it must have been.
It was extremely close. It was less than a tenth between the 3 of you. You were 13 thousandths of a second away from 5th place there. In fact, I think, yeah, it was about that. It's showing up on my timing screen at the moment. It's 4 thousandths, so it's looking even closer on the results screen. But yeah, really, really close. So nearly 5th, and I think Ray was about 900ths, so just under a tenth. So it was close between the 3 of you. Where you are going to be starting in roughly the same place because you're bang in the middle for the feature.
P7.
Yeah, so where do you think you can get to from there?
We will see. I mean, again, I'm around these two.
Yes, right.
So we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, I'm thinking that maybe a good pit stop will be part of the plan. So
pit stops are going to be crucial for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's no point battling because you're just going to lose time. So getting a pit stop done maybe earlier would be a good idea, and then getting some good laps and getting them on the undercut. But we shall see. Who knows? See what happens on track. I end up getting in tow of somebody. I'll just stay there in tow. And, you know, try and bring in as many good laps as possible.
Well, thanks
very
talking
much,
to us, Chris. We've got a couple minutes left of the break, so enjoy yourself, have a little bit of a cool down, get ready for the feature. Thank you for talking again. We might speak to you in a bit, depending on where you finish. Let's see what happens.
Cheers. Yeah, fingers crossed.
Cheers, Chris.
Thank you.
There we go, Chris Smith. So there was a couple of comments. We've got Esben, thumbs up. Jerry, can you show us the results? We got them up for you. Let's go through them now. Actually, there's not really any time to talk to someone else. A couple minutes left. So I will run through the order. We've got Charles Rainford taking the win of the sprint race. 2 tenths behind him was Stephen King. Jake Cranston in 3rd for the Masters of Talk car, so a great debut for his team. Joshua Germany, Pulsar Esports in 4th. Oliver Teglus, the independent driver, in 5th. Right on the cusp of losing it out to Chris Smith, who we just spoke to in P6. Ray Oliver, P7. Donny Alpha Henriksen in P8, so a good race for the Meatball Lovers car. John Bailiff in P9. Ika Lequay. What a race for him compared to last week. Absolutely amazing to see him in the top 10. Martin Wallace, P11. And Morgan Burkhardt, P12. So that means, I believe, Morgan is going to be starting on pole for our feature race. Thumbs up for the commentary. Thank you, Mr. 91. We have Sebastian Holmichael 13th, Jared Kaler 14th, Andy Fox 15th, Kieran Dempsey 16th, Dan Thornton in 17th, Yeezus 18th place in the end, so getting some points on the board once again for Yeezus Amundere. If you're out there, fan club, give him a shout out. We know you like to see him. And then, where were we? Where's Yeezus gone? There he is, 19th. So Henry Morse up into 19th in the end after the spin at the start, gaining the second to last point on the board. And Orlando Herrell, 20th place, claiming that last point. Christian Ribeiro, 21st. Ryan Smith, an unfortunate accident for him at the start. He definitely had a meatball flag. We didn't get to speak to him, but that's my assumption, and he had to pit in the sprint race. Jan Weiswanger 23rd, Thomas Berlin down in 24th, and Jaco van Wittenbauer in 25th. So Thomas had an issue there. We'll watch that back at the end of the race somewhere, because he was actually quite high up in the midfield at some point during that race. So we will definitely be watching to see what happened to him. As the warm-up time is coming to an end, we're going to have about 1 minute left before the next race starts. So we've got 25-minute race coming up with a pit stop. It's a forced pit stop. They have to stop. 25 minutes, so a bit longer than that one. And it's going to be just as close, I am sure. The grid. Got it nice and early this time. Found it straight away. Morgan Burkhardt, pole position. Martin Wallace is going to start second. Ika LeQuay is going to start third. John Bailiff in fourth. Donny Alpha Henriksen fifth. Ray Oliver in sixth. Chris Smith in seventh. Oliver Teglus eighth. Josh Germany in ninth. Jake Cranston 10th. Stephen King in 11th. And Charles Rainford starting all the way down in 12th place for this race. We then got Holmichael, Kayla, Fox, Dempsey, Thornton, Amundare, Morse, and Herrell to the 20th place. Ribeiro, Ryan Smith, Weiswanger, Burling, and last but not least, Wittenbauer in 25th place on the grid. So, all the cars are on track. You can see them down there, lined up nicely as the lights come on. Let's have a look at Morgan Burkhardt, our pole sitter. 4 lights, 5 lights are on, and it's go, go, go. Number 2 gets a decent start. Martin Wallace, though, getting the jump. Can Ika gain P2? He's on the inside for turn 1. Look at this as they come into the corner. They're all coming flying through. All actually fairly clean. Impressive for turn 1, but it looks like Ika's up into P2. He's gained that position. Look at that. What a start from Ika LeQuay. That is definitely it. We got Jack Lewin saying maybe Thomas can do an alternate fuel strategy. We do know he loves playing with a bit of fuel, Thomas Berlin, as they all come flying through the next right-hander. Look how many cars. Do you know what, boys? Fair play so far. There's been no incidents with that many of you out there. Normally the feature race is absolutely riddled with them by now, with people being impatient, but it looks like people have learned from their mistakes. This is good to see. As I say that, I don't want to jinx it. There's a Constantina effect into the West Bend, crashing or crunching of bonnets through there, but no one, crucially, spinning out. And that's what we don't like to see. But Morgan getting a nice little breakaway, the number 2 car for All Sports Racing, the American driver, 1.3 seconds ahead of Ika now for P1 in the feature race. That is a lot of points, Morgan, but you've got 25 minutes to stay there whilst Ika tries holding up the rest of the field. Can he keep this P2? I'll tell you what, I will be absolutely like over the moon for him. I can't even. I'm not meant to be biased. I'm a commentator. I'm not in the racing. I don't really have any bias on anyone, but I would be happy for Ika LeQuay if he could hold this P2. I don't want to say that it's unlikely. There is 25 minutes of this race, as it sounded like there was a bit of contact there at the back. There's an ORD car off. That is Dan Thornton spinning off in the background, and one in the car, that's Sebastian Holmichael in the 667, and they make a bit more contact there just to be sure. Let's have a quick look at what happened there. Oh, that's unfortunate. Sebastian has a quick disappear. Ooh, very tight through there. It looks like Sebastian's car was there. Dan just didn't see him. Maybe he thought, oh, you shouldn't pass there. But there was a racing incident. We'll have another look at that later on as we go back to Ika in P2. Thomas Berlin's have a bit of an off-track moment. Oh, look at that. Jan Weiswanger as well, actually. Look at them. Very slow through the West Bend chicane. It's a tricky chicane to get right, I'm not going to lie. As Martin Wallace has gone tumbling down the order. That's not what you want to see. What's happened to Martin up there? He's gone right off at turn 1. And look at all the cars. That's the problem here. If you go off, all the cars come flying through. And you lose loads of positions. Martin's not going to be happy about that. Stephen King is also down there. There's people having nightmares all over the place. People just losing out. And I'm going to be honest, we missed what happened. So Martin Wallace went off track. Let's have another look. Here it is. Into turn 1. Yeah, he's done it himself. He's on the grass. There's not much more to say about that. There's Charles Rainford now, also tumbling down the order. Martin Wallace, look, now battling with Charles Rainford, so the sprint race winner. Charles Rainford still in P12 actually though, so he hasn't lost any positions effectively, but he did climb a few. Joshua Germany, he's probably the biggest winner so far. Actually, I say that as I see Jared Kaler's gained 5 positions, but Josh Germany up 3 places from where he started, so he's having a good feature race. He's one to watch. in the features, to be fair, Josh. So he loves a reverse grid, this boy, and he is very good at trying to make the most. As Thomas Berlin is out of the race, it's showing he's out. So I don't know if he's just come into the pits. Jared Kaler getting passed by Jake Cranston there into the West Bend chicane. That's a good little move. I wonder if that's becoming Jake's favourite move of the race, into the West Bend chicane. It's a brave move to do, and you've got to have a lot of faith in the other drivers around you, to be fair. You really do have to put a lot of trust in there. Now, what's going on up front? It looks like things are starting to close up, so Ika by no means is wanting to let this win get away from him. He is not letting Morgan run away. The gap is now 7/10 of a second, but look who he's got hounding him for position. John Bailiff, P2 in last week's feature. He is now in P3. 3 tenths behind Ika. Ray Oliver right behind him. Donny Alpha Henriksen, he's having a race. I mean, he started in 5th. He's still there. Can he just keep his nose clean? Ray! Oh, Ray, that was tight. You don't want to be passing through that corner, sir, no matter how early it is in the morning. Thank you. Welcome, Still Basilisk, to the chat. It's because we keep calling him Martin. We've got a couple of no's in there. That was when Martin Wallace was tumbling down the order. Should overlay F1 sounds. It would make him sound faster, but not look faster. Neil Mauricio, good to see you, buddy. Haven't seen you in this car for a little while, actually, as Ika is under pressure now. Look at this, John Bailiff coming around the outside of turn 1, and we know what happened with turn 1 in the sprint race. Whoever's got the inside for the first apex, as Ika comes in here, John needs to try and hold it around the outside for the second one, but Ika's going to have a bit more of a run, but it looks like John's got it done. He's still there. Ika can't move over now. John's got the move done. He's on the inside. Can Ray Oliver follow him through? The number 84 car, Ika Lequay, don't touch the grass, but he's still got the inside for the kink. Bounces over the curve. 2 wheels. Ray Oliver's going to make it 3 wide. This is a dangerous move. He's on the grass. 3 wide down towards the fast right-hander, and Ika, do you know what? Smart driving there is... Oh, Henriksen goes up the inside of the fast right. You don't want to do that. There's a Pulsar's car going right. Oliver Teglus is on the grass. Can he get back on? That's Joshua Germany and Oliver coming together again, just like before in Charlotte. But they've all kept it on. Cracking driving from the top end of the field in this race. Wow. Joshua Germany gets run off wide as he tries to go round the outside of Alpha Henriksen, round the West Bend chicane. Not smart, really, but I suppose he was trying his best. He had nowhere else to go. Not Donny's fault, though. Did exactly the right thing. It's Christopher Smith gets passed by Jake Cranston there in the background as well. Still all really close. Oliver Teglus now going up the inside of Joshua Germany. These two clearly going to be finding each other on track in every round. Josh thinking, I've been here before, but look who's right behind him. Stephen King in the other Pulsar's car is joining this little fight, as that is Jake Cranston going up into P7. Gets a bit of contact with Joshua Germany. Stephen King goes up the inside and gains that position back from his teammate. Oh my God, this racing's tight through the field, and Jared Kaler at the inside of the fast right there in the underwear car, we're going to call that. Charles Rainford coming back through the field, still extremely close. 7 minutes into this feature, can you believe it? 7 minutes into this race, and they're still this close, but look who is getting feisty. Oliver Teglus now chasing down Donny Alpha Henriksen for P5. Ika Lequay lost 2 positions, as we saw. John Bailiff currently in P2, only half a second behind Morgan Burkhardt, who's running away with the lead now. Henriksen looking to defend. Oliver looks like he's going to get a nose in there. He didn't defend hard enough. Oliver's going to have the inside for turn 1. He's going to try and squeeze him, Henriksen. He's done a good job there, actually. He hasn't pinched him too tight that he spins round. He's still got the inside now for turn 2, and he's got the high ground. To quote Anakin Skywalker there, look at this. He is going left, and he's gained that position. He's kept that position. Donny Alpha Henriksen in P5. Ika Lequay P4. He's going to want to try and get back onto that podium spot. But the number 78 car of Jake Cranston ahead of Stephen King, chasing down Oliver Teglus. This is where it gets feisty. TRL said I was the fastest I have ever seen. I didn't say that. Still Basilisk? Not at all. First class delivery, Ellen Brown, thank you very much. DHL delivering those points again. That's in reference to Jake's last livery. He was had a DHL livery on his car, but he's now in the Masters of Torque car, so climbing that order. Thomas Berlin not out of the race. He's joined back out the pit, so he must have done that early pit stop like someone said in the chat. I wonder if he can take that to the end. That'll be interesting, especially stopping that early whilst all of these people battling away. John Bailiff, under pressure though, from Ray Oliver, our Australian driver, in the JP Simsheds car. As they come round the fast right-hander, number 22, John Bailiff there in front, very close. I'm surprised to see people making it 2-3 wide down this straight into this fast right, because this right is it's a dangerous place to be, let's put it that way. There's a solid wall there on the outside. That's race ending if you travel too fast through that corner. As we see Dan Thornton come into the pits, he's in the pit exit now. I wonder if this is people playing the strategy game and just trying to sort of lengthen out their stints on the second stint. So people pitting this early, I'm not sure on the strategy of this race actually. I don't know if it's better to pit early, as we see Chris Smith, Martin Wallace and Andy Fox coming in the pits. Look at this all at the same time, and look how tight the entry is. Kieran Dempsey in as well. That's a good view of some stairs. Thank you for that, iRacing cameras. Look at these two in the pit lane. I'll tell you what we need here. We're going to need a track map. If people are going to start pitting in already, we need to know where everybody else is on track. You can see Dan Thornton there is actually in danger of, and Thomas Berlin, so these two battling each other, currently in 24th and 25th place. They need to be careful, because just down the road, oh, Thomas Berlin, is he going to go for a move here? Oh, it's going to get tight through there into the West Bench chicane. He tried, but not quite pulling it off this time. Dan Thornton keeping that move for 24th place, as Kieran Dempsey still going down the order in the pit stops. Henry Morse down in 21st. So he's not having a good time at Lime Rock. I'm not sure if that's him being thrown off by the layout change last minute. But entering pit stop phase. Joshua Germany coming into the pits. You can see his dot on the map on the right hand side has been greyed out. So let's see where he comes out. But everybody up ahead still not pitting. Morgan Burkhardt is out there. In fact, I can add a little pit stop time. If I can find it. There it is. So now we can see who has pitted. So Morgan Burkhardt, though, still very much in the lead of this race by 1.5 seconds. So he's really in a good position here. The number 2 car for the All Sports Racing team. I say that as he locks up into the West Bend chicane. Still a big train at the front end of this field, all the way down to, I reckon, 10th place. So Jake Cranston currently in 10th. And then 5 seconds back is Ryan Smith getting chased down by Jesus Amundre, who's currently in P12. You can see the amount of people there who have stopped as Stephen King and Jared Kaler come into the pits together. So these two not wanting to leave each other out their sights. Ryan Smith follows them in, so he's going to try and get a bit of a strategy advantage. Now the reason, Bentis22, it was all getting a bit much for you. Obviously the reason I've put the pit stops is so that we can keep track on who's made their mandatory stop and who hasn't. This is going to try and help us work out who is in what position. Obviously those that haven't stopped are going to lose around about 30 seconds. In fact, I can tell you just after these guys come out. So Stephen King was in the pit lane there for 33 seconds. That's how long it takes for a pit stop round here. So these guys up ahead, Morgan Burkhardt 1 second in the lead, as the train of cars chasing him down. The top 12 yet to pit. The bottom 13 have pitted. Thomas Berlin, Jerry Agard has said, can Thomas make it on fuel? I'll be honest, Jerry, I personally don't think so. However, Thomas has proved me wrong more than once before on how far he can make the fuel last in this car. They are diesel cars. Yeah, he seems to be able to just pull out those extra few miles of the fuel. I don't know if it's just he's really good at lifting and coasting, but I'm sure we'll see him do something with that fuel strategy. I'll be impressed if he does it, and we'll mention it at the end. I'm more of an escalator guy myself, says McPlain. Wasn't a fan of the stair shot. No worries. John Bailiff and Donny Alpha Henriksen in the pits now. You can see their dots on the pit map. Stephen King, though, coming down the main straight. Is he going to gain this position? As John Bailiff and Donny Alpha Henriksen are coming out the pits, they're just there up ahead. Jared Kaler's there. They've jumped someone. I'm sure I just saw them pass someone in the pits. Donny Henriksen's still ahead, though, and they've come out just behind him. So that is very interesting. They definitely passed someone in the pits. I think that might be John Bailiff, who's tumbled down the order. It is. John Bailiff's behind all of them. So John losing out there for the Win It or Bin It team after the pit stops. That's interesting. Ray Oliver, though, coming in the pits now. Yes, he is. You can see his greyed out dot. Keep an eye on that track map to see where everybody else is on track. Ika Lequay, P2. Oliver Teglus, P3. Morgan Burkhardt, P1 at the moment. And Jesus, unless he pits this lap, which he isn't, is going to jump up to P4. Get your Jesus fan club out. Get those clapping hand emojis in chat. Jesus in P4 currently, but yet to stop. As Jaco Wittenbauer, we need to shout him out as well in the Pennzoil car. He's in P5 as well. But look at this at the pit exit. Donny. Charles Rainford. Losing positions left, right and centre. Look at that. That's what, 4-5 positions lost there? The pit stops clearly. I mean, we all know pit stops are key. But losing this amount of positions, some people putting more fuel in than others, as there's a bit of contact there between Charles Rainford and one of the ORD cars. That's Christopher Smith. He's having a cracking weekend. What a contrast to the race before, though. Charles Rainford down in 14th place after a race win. Double points for this feature race. Can't stress that enough as Oliver Teglus comes into the pits. The feature race, twice the meaning of the sprint. So I'm not saying it was pointless winning. Obviously, he's got a win under his belt. But as there's a bit of contact up in here, it's getting very pushy and shovey through the West Bend chicane. This Constantina effect. For those of you that don't know what Constantina effect is, oh, look at this. That's Jake Cranston up the inside of Ray Oliver around the final corner. So he's going to get that move done before turn 1. And Alpha Henriksen looking pretty feisty as Christian Ribeiro's going in the pits as well. Look, don't go 3 wide into turn 1, boys. Jake Cranston's got the inside. Oliver Teglus coming out of the pits. He's lost the positions. 4 cars around the outside of Oliver Teglus. Jake Cranston goes through. Alpha Henriksen, though, the big winner there. Look at him leading this train. That's going to put him, I think, he's in net P3 after all the pit stops are sorted. I'm sure he is. He's around there somewhere. What a move from Alpha Henriksen there. Sebastian Hallmichael up the road, his teammate, as one of the cars goes off. Is that Stephen King in the Pulsar's car? Bit of contact there through those guys. Stephen King going off track. Oh no, we did not want to cut away from that battle. Let's get back on board. This train, what a tight battle of skillful drivers. I mean, they're all skillful drivers if they're on this grid. We did go through a selection process, 60 sign-ups. We're down to 30 as there's more contact. People really pushing it through the West Bend chicane. Ray Oliver not going to be happy about that as he tumbles down the order. I wonder if he had a slowdown and he's tried serving it early. The problem is, with this contact, a flock, a misunderstanding of Jettas. Spaghetti of Jettas is what we went for in the end, but I'm sure there's another word for it. As I was saying, the problem with contact in these cars, if you get that meatball flag, your race is done. You need another pit stop, so Ray needs to be careful. All of these boys need to be careful into the West Bend chicane. Morgan Burkhardt has made his stop, which means he's well in the lead. Jake Cranston, net P2. Charles Rainford in P3. Stephen King, P4. So we're still waiting for Eco. He's currently leading this race. He's going to be enjoying that view from the front with his teammate Jesus Amundere for Lurchus Gaming in P2. And Sebastian Hallmichael for the meatball lovers. Ironically, we were just talking about meatballs. So the black and orange flag being called the meatball flag. These guys still yet to stop. But the top 3, we can get rid of those pit stops now. We know it's just those 3 that yet to pit. What is the gap? Morgan Burkhardt, 4 seconds ahead of Jake Cranston. He's going to be over the moon with this. I hope he's available for an interview if he can hold it. We're 17 minutes in. The time is flying in this race. Christopher Smith's just dropped down the order. I wonder if he's had an issue there. Is he defending? Maybe he got a slow down. Ray Oliver comes back through, chasing down Joshua Germany. Oh dear. He's gone off there. That's a bit of grass. He fancied cutting the grass. Henry Morse back in the pits again. He is having a nightmare this round. Henry Morse, I mean, you're not going to believe me. But Henry Morse, a really quick driver. And yeah, not looking like this is his round. There are 2 drop rounds available. So 12 rounds in total. 10 rounds will count. So your worst 2 rounds will disappear. And for those, so there's people out there, as Ika and Jesus come into the pits together, there's people out there that maybe won't turn up to all the rounds. That's fine. 2 rounds won't count. Those people that do turn up to all the rounds will lose their bottom 2 point scoring rounds. So it's a fair game for everyone as Sebastian Hallmichael takes the lead. He still hasn't pit. Morgan Burkhardt, though, has, and he's closing him down 1.2 seconds behind as Ika, has he come back out the pits? Look at this. He's come back out in P2. Jake Cranston back in the pit lane, though. I wonder if people are getting meatball flags here, because Jake had definitely pitted. This is a problem. This is a big problem. I can't see any crashes, to be honest, coming through on the timing screens. Jake Cranston not going to be happy with that. I can see where Chris Smith might have had an issue. Is this the same for everybody else? Look at the damage on some of the sides of these cars. Now he's just gone off by himself there. We saw Ray Oliver go off track. Thomas Berlin went off track. Donny Alpha Henriksen, he's involved in this battle. Let's see what happened to him. It's going to be the same sort of issue, I think. Just carries too much speed on the exit. Yeah, exactly the same. So a lot of people carrying loads of speed through there as Thomas goes off the track again. Let's have a quick look at him. What was this for? Turn 1, too much speed in, Tom. Carrying it right through, 2 wheels on the grass, and out he goes as Sebastian Hohlmichael comes into the pits. A lot of smoke at that West Bend chicane. I'll tell you what, for a last-minute addition to the calendar, and I say last minute, as in this track was picked literally an hour before practice started due to an iRacing error. The West Bend chicane has seen its fair amount of action compared to the chicane that we were going to use, which was extremely tight. Look at this. Stephen King currently in P4. So this order is pretty much where everyone is now. All the pit stops have been done, including a few extra ones, as Jake Cranston drops down to 19th. Oh, that's going to be painful. Crowning claims another victim. What do you think happened? Jerry Agard, FFS. I won't say what that stands for on stream. But yeah, some people having issues that it's not coming up, that they've had crashes. It looks like it's all little 1Xs. But like I said, we'll review the footage at the end and you'll see some highlights at the start of next week's round. But let's not talk about next week, because we are fully still in this race with 5 minutes to go as Stephen King tries to go around the outside. He's going to go on the grass. No! Oh, he's going to be annoyed at that. That's a pure mistake from himself. Very rare to see as Alpha Henriksen now is going to have a look around the outside of turn 2. He's not going to get that done. Stephen King's still got the edge into this corner as they come around turn 3. Ika Lequay under pressure from Jared Kaler though. Round the outside, Jared Kaler goes, and he's got the move done for P3, sorry, as they go into the fast right-hander. Charles Rainford in P2, just up the road. So we were saying how he was having a nightmare earlier. I don't know why I said that, because now he's on for a win and a P2, but he's only 1.7 seconds behind Morgan, who still leads this race with 3.5 minutes to go. Can Morgan hold this win away from Charles Rainford, who's gained 10 positions? Jared Kaler gained 11 positions. Ika still in P4. He's having a cracking round. Stephen King still well in this battle, up 6 places from the start. Donny Alpha Henriksen, P6. John Bailiff right behind. Still close in this top gaggle of 12. Around 12 cars are still pretty close. Martin Wallace has a bit of a gap to Joshua Germany. You can see there. Joshua Germany coming around turn 1. And Martin Wallace was under pressure there from Ryan Smith, our youngest driver on the grid. Martin Wallace in the red camo car for Win It or Bin It. Taking it nicely through there. Orlando Herald in the pits. There's definitely more pit stops than expected. There, you are right in saying 2.5 minutes left now still Vasilis. Gaggle, Jack Johns 2021. I do like that word. I've said it many times. And I want a better word than spaghetti. Spaghetti of Jetta's worked, but spaghetti of Jetta's. There's a lot of smoke in the West Bend chicane. That's Joshua Germany locking up. Let's change that subject before I mince my words. Get it? Spaghetti, mince? You know you got it. Terrible joke. That's hanging out with Chaz Drake not too long, that is. Right, let's get back to the lead. Morgan Burkhardt, 0.3 of a second now. With 2 minutes to go, Charles Rainford, look at this. Right on the back of Morgan Burkhardt. I'm going to feel for him if he can't hold this, but he's done incredibly well up till this point. It's been his race. He's controlled it beautifully, but Charles is all over the back of him. Morgan's going to have to defend hard for this last minute and 40 seconds. Catastrophe of Jettas. Faggle of Jettas. Nailed it. Not quite. Charles Rainford up the inside for the West Bend chicane. Oh no, is he going to keep that? Morgan's going to hold it round the outside. Charles gets it turned in for the little exit of the West Bend, and he gets that move done. 0.4 of the gap already to Morgan Burkhardt. So can he stay in the slipstream and try and get this back, as Jared Kaler is closing him down, 1.6 seconds behind, and Stephen King back up into P4. He's passed Ika Lequay, just 1.5 seconds behind him. Morgan still in the slipstream. Easy peasy. That was an easy move into the West Bend, but I hope Morgan doesn't let this run away. Charles is a very fast driver. He's going to be over the moon with this. It was round 2, and we might have our first double win, our Grand Slam. He didn't get pole position, though, so we can't quite call it a... Oh, did he get pole position? Do you know what? It was so long ago. There's been so many battles. I've forgotten what's happened. I'll correct myself next round, if that is the case. But, yeah, both wins, though. Incredible. As Oliver Teglus and Jesus and Mundere in the pits. People pitting all over the place, but I can't take my eyes off these battles, guys, because there's loads of fighting going on. Thomas Berlin up into 25th, Orlando Herald down there in 24th for the other all-sports car, but Morgan Burkhardt not letting him get away as quick as expected as we approach the 25-minute mark. I wonder, surely it's not going to go checkered now. Are they going to have one more lap? It's 0.4 of a second, the gap. They're going to know more than me. They'll see the white flag if this is the last lap. I can't see many weave in or break in. It's not. They've got one more lap of this race. This will be the last lap, surely, as they come round turn 1. 0.3 of a second, the gap. Not many close racing, apart from, actually, Andy Fox, who's about to pass his teammate Martin Wallace into turn 1, and Ryan Smith's going to try and follow him through. Look at this for P10. Wow, Ryan Smith trying to follow him through. Martin Wallace is going to have the inside for turn 2. Ryan's going to have to be a brave boy to hold it around the outside of here and have the inside of the kink. Not quite. Martin Wallace shuts that door. Andy Fox, though, up into P10, passing Martin Wallace for the Win It or Bin It team. 2 teammates, but racing cleanly. Who else is having a ding-dong? It's Joshua Germany, Chris Smith and John Bailiff. 3 cars battling. Oh, my God. Charles Rainford coming through the West Bend chicane. You can see it on the track map as he heads towards the final corner. There's a bit of smoke up ahead. That's Donny and Ika Lequay. Ika surviving it, taking P5. We're coming round now. This is Charles Rainford round the final corner. 0.3 of a second, the gap. Morgan Burkhardt in the slipstream. He's not quite going to do it this time, and it's checkered flag. That's Charles Rainford taking the win. Morgan Burkhardt second. Jared Kaler in third. Stephen King takes 4th. Ika Lequay finishes in the top 5. What a race from him. Donny Alpha Henriksen in 6th. John Bailiff 7th. Joshua Germany taking 8th in the end, just 800ths behind. Chris Smith 2 tenths back. Andy Fox keeping P10. Martin Wallace parks it up. Had enough. There he is. 11th place. Ryan Smith 12th. They're still battling behind though. That's Jake Cranston. 15th place in the end. Down there with Ray Oliver just ahead of him. Oh, good parking there. Whoever that was. Was that Jake? No, it wasn't Jake. It was the other one. The other tour. Ah, it's Thomas Berlin in 25th place. That's reversed across the finish line. I wonder if I can get that on footage. Let's see if we can get what he just did. Let's do it in slow motion, Tom. Just for you, this is. That's it, Tom. Attack that blue cone. Absolutely murdered it. Across the line in 25th place. Fully backwards. Sent it. I mean, the checkered flag's out. What are you going to do? No one's going to get caught in that. Around he goes. Look at that smoke. And Jake Cranston in the other Masters of Talk car probably thinking, look at that. What a J-turn. Oh, and in the wall. We ruined it. I should have cut. Aaron PM94. GG, guys, and thanks for the stream. You are welcome. Q Chariots of Fire. Indeed. So, there we have it. What a race. We will get the results up as soon as they are here. I think they are here now. There they are. Oh, there we go. We got them back. So, Charles Rainford, your feature race winner for the independent team. He hasn't got a team, Charles Rainford, so no points for constructors. But that's a hell of a points haul with 2 wins. 2 tenths ahead of Morgan Burkhardt. He had a cracking race, led pretty much the whole thing. Amazing. And only 2 tenths back, so we didn't let him get away. Jared Kaler, a lot cleaner this time round, takes P3 in the feature. Stephen King, P4. Ika Lequay, P5. Give yourselves a round of applause. I'll tell you what, come on people, show your appreciation for Ika. He was down the bottom end of round 1, and now look at him. P5, that's going to bump him right up the order in the driver's standings. Donny Alpha Henriksen, he's had a few bits of action today. 6th place in the end for the feature. John Bailiff for Win It or Bin It in P7. Joshua Germany for Pulsar Esports takes P8. Chris Smith for ORD takes P9. P10 and 11, the 2 Win It or Bin It boys. So a lot of points for them. Again, that's 10th and 11th for Andy and Martin. Ryan Smith in ORD, P12. Kieran Dempsey, an independent driver with the really nice Irish flag on the side, 13th. Ray Oliver finishing 14th in the end for JP Simsheds. Jake Cranston, 15th, Masters of Talk. Sebastian Holmichael, P16. Christian Ribeiro, P17 for Lurchus Gaming. Dan Thornton of ORD down in P18. There's 2 more points positions available, and that is Oliver Teglus there, the independent, and Henry Morse collecting the final 2 points of the feature race in P20. So not a great round for Henry. Jan Weiswanger, 21st. Jesus Amundere, P22 in the end for the feature race. Jaco Wittenbauer, 23rd. Orlando Herald, 24th. And Thomas Berlin finishing the race in style. The 008 car in 25th place with his little J-turn at the end. Much appreciated. We have got time for a couple of interviews, which we will do. Let me have a look. Who have we got before we cut off? Let's have a chat. I want to know, is Morgan around? Yes, he is. I'm going to drag him in. So let's speak to our P2 finisher first. Morgan Burkhardt, 2/10 of a second behind Charles Rainford. Led pretty much from the start, Morgan. Tell us how you're feeling.
Oh, it's amazing. This is actually my first podium in any league, so I'm feeling really good right now.
Good, 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 good. So, I mean, we were rooting for you. The chat have been watching. Start to nearly the finish, but tell us what's it like having, I mean, Charles, one race won. What was it like just seeing him all of a sudden appear behind you and that pressure that he kept you under? Was you cautious, thinking, actually, do you know what, I'm just going to sort of let him have this, or was you really fighting? I mean, 2/10 of a second is no gap at all. Was you going to fight him hard for that P1?
Oh, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, he's just another driver. I mean, he's a really quick driver and he's a good driver, but if I'm going to fight him, and he got me going into the chicane. I covered it off a little bit, but just trying to stick with him after that.
Yeah, that's the spirit. We like it when people... like you said, they're just other drivers. You don't want to just roll over just from the name. Some people get pressurised by it, but not you, Morgan. It was a cracking race in the end with P2. Just before I let you go and grab someone else, is there anyone you want to thank, anything you want to say, anyone you want to say hello to?
Well, I'd definitely like to thank my parents for letting me do this. Without them, it wouldn't be possible. And all the boys at All Sports Racing. It's a lot of fun doing this.
That's right. Good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thanks, Morgan. We'll speak to you soon.
All right. Thank you, too.
That was Morgan Burkhardt there. P2 in the feature. Who else can we speak to? I wonder if Jared is available. He was another late addition to the championship, Jared Kaler, actually, but in this race, so a bit of an issue in round 1 with some penalties, just a feisty start, but more cautious at the start this time. It looks like it's paid off. P3, Jared Kaler, tell us how you're feeling.
Feels really good, like you said, a rebound after that pretty horrendous first round. But starting from the back and working my way through everyone, and then doing the same thing in the main was a lot of fun, and racing against a lot of great people out there.
That's right. So 2 American drivers actually on the podium there, nearly an all-American one. Henry Morse probably could have helped out that, but he's had a nightmare of a round today. But solid full round for you, actually. I'm sure there's a lot of points on the board. We'll have a look at the drivers' standings next time round once it's all sort of totted up. But looking forward to the next round. Did you enjoyed that race?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to the next round. Watkins Glen's next, I believe, and that's a pretty fun track, especially in these Jettas. So I'm really looking forward to that.
It is, right. It's a lot bigger as well, a lot bigger and wider than it is around here. It's the boot layout, so it's the long version up next for round 3. But effectively, compared to some of the other drivers out there, it's going to be like you and a couple of the others home ground. So looking for a strong finish again, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely, I will be.
Perfect. Well, thanks for talking to us, Jared. Is there anyone, before I let you go, is there anyone you want to thank, anyone you want to say hello to?
Want to thank you guys for putting it on. It's been a blast, and the stream looks really, really good. So, yeah, keep up the great work.
Oh, thank you very much, Jared. We'll speak to you soon.
Have a good one.
That's Jared Kaler there. I think we need to. We owe it to him. Bye, see you Monday, Esben, who is leading his strats. Amundre ran out of fuel again. That makes sense because he was doing well. Thank you, Jerry. Awesome stream again. We do owe it to him to bring him in. We heard from him earlier, but let's see if there's a bit more excitement in his voice. I mean, he won the first race, but now, what a points haul for Charles Rainford. 0.2 of a second. Your feature race winner, ladies and gentlemen. How does it feel?
Thank you very much. I mean, I really wasn't expecting it because at one point I was down in 16th, but somehow we made it through.
It was an unbelievable drive. We spotted you down there somewhere. I'm struggling. There's so much happening in these races. I'm struggling to remember it all. But yeah, we saw you down there, and I was like, oh, I wonder if that's an issue. We're not going to see him up there. And then out of nowhere, once the pit stops were over and done with, you're back in the top end of the field, chasing down Morgan, who led from the start pretty much to the end, and you got him with a couple laps to go.
Yeah, I mean, just about. What happened was I think I was the first one in the train to get a penalty from taking too much inside curb. So that's what dropped me down so far. And then I slightly messed up my pit stop again for the what's going to be now the second time in a row. And yeah, found myself in some lucky spots and managed to kind of cut through, really.
That's right. It's an amazing win and fully deserved, Charles. So a cracking round.
Thank you.
Couldn't have asked for more, really. Where did you qualify in the qualifying?
Second. Steve beat me to it by like 1/1000, and I was very annoyed.
Yes,
of course he did. Of course it's Steve that beat me to it.
So Stephen King getting that point. So it's just stopping you there, actually. And I know he's keen for one, but Stephen King stopping you from a Grand Slam then this race week. So nearly pole and 2 wins, but him ruining that for you. So who's going to be the first to get it, do you reckon?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, obviously, as a very competitive guy myself, I'd like to say me, but Steve is very, very good. So I've got my money on him, to be fair, for the first full-on points haul.
That's right. And then at the same time, Morgan Burkhardt and Jared Kaler. We spoke about Jared in round 1 a couple of times, more for the wrong reasons actually, but both of them, 2 American drivers on the podium joining you this time, so really putting a stamp on it. And we're on another American track next, so do you reckon they'll be just as fast around there?
I think so. I mean, everyone in this series is so fast, and everyone is capable of winning the race. So, yeah, I mean, any race really, as we've seen, the podium can change every time, and it's amazing to watch, isn't it?
It is, yeah. With the reverse grid, it throws up all the options, and it really shows off certain people's battling. Some people buckle under the pressure, but today that was not you.
Thank you. Yeah, I just tried to just run my laps really and try not to look in my mirrors too often, especially for race 1. But yeah, I'm looking forward to next week to see how we can do next week, you know?
Perfect. Thanks for speaking to us again, Charles. Congratulations on the win. Just before I let you go, is there anyone you want to thank? Anyone you want to say hello to?
I just want to thank all the boys at CCK Motorsport, really, for everything they do. And obviously thank you and everyone at TRL for putting on this league. I'm having the most amazing fun, the most fun I've ever had sim racing. So just want to thank you all, really. It's fantastic.
Oh, that means a lot, Charles. Thank you for your kind words. We'll speak to you soon.
Thank you, hopefully.
So Charles Rainford there, your race winner. I know I said that was the last one, and I have done the podium, but there's one person I just want to see if he does want to pop in for a chat. Like I said, I'm not biased. He's not going to expect this. Well, we've got loads of people in the interview waiting room, but we'll be here all night with that lot. Loads of people wanting to talk, which is good to see. But I feel like we owe it to our 5th place finisher, Ika Lequay, a top 5 in the feature race. One hell of a points haul. I think a lot of people are looking forward to hearing you say hello, Ika. Let's have a chat. How do you feel about that finish?
Hello everyone. Yeah, I'm still nervous right now about the race. It was really intense. Yeah.
You're still nervous. I mean,
yeah.
At one point, it looked like you were going to hold P. You held P2 for a long time, and the podium would have been a cracking result.
Much longer than I expected. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a really, really clean race, and genuinely, even though you lost a couple of places towards the end of the race, they're down to P5. P5 is an amazing result in a feature race, reverse grid or not. You must be over the moon with that finish, because that's a lot of points on the board.
Yes, I hope. I believe that first race wasn't good enough. I mean, it wasn't. I don't know how to say it in English right now, but I feel like the next races will be as much as intense as this one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So the first round was round sort of the oval track, wasn't it? And it was always going to throw up a few issues when you have that much slipstream. But now for the rest of the season, we're kind of on, for want of a better word, some proper race tracks, and this was our first example of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's looking like it's going to throw everybody into the mix. There's positions all over the place. But congratulations on your P5. Is there anyone you want to say hello
Thank you
to?
very much.
Anyone you want to thank?
I want to thank you for setting this up, yeah, and everyone on the race. Yeah, it was a really clean race. I was hoping more crashes, more accidents,
Yeah,
but it turned out that it was a clean race. Yeah.
It was fairly clean. We'll watch it back after the stream, but thank you for your time, Nico. I wish you all the best, and we will see you next week.
Thank you very much. See you in this one.
See you later. That, I think I'm gonna have to call it there, guys. To be honest, not because I want to. And I know there's a lot of people in the interview waiting room, and there's loads of positions all over the place there. But I mean, we've got to call it somewhere. We've spoken to the top 3, one of our top 5 drivers. It's been a hell of a race. Thank you all for joining me. As usual, that's pretty much it from me. Don't forget to leave a like and comment down below. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button already, hit that subscribe button. We hit 1,500 recently, so now we're onwards to 2,000. And we need your help to do it if you haven't done it already. And of course, if I don't see you on track this week, then I'll see you next week for the next video here on the Racing Line. Peace!